Hello class, this is your substitute teacher weekly again. Today we're going to be talking about communism for stupitoes. So basically, you got an impoverished country. They're all like, please, we need economic relief from the evil mustache pointy beard man who's like, I'm super rich and I'm king and we're fighting World War II, but then he freaking dies. But that comes later, so that's out of order. Anyway, there's a bearded guy somewhere here in Europe. He's got a really big and really cool beard. Something that's very common for the communists. But he writes a big manifesto, and it's called the Communist Manifesto. Basically, it's like we can have a perfect society if we just like get communism. He's probably got a hat on or something, and then he goes back, and then he's like, I'm gonna overthrow you, and then he kills the king who dies. He wasn't like that terrible of a person. He just dies and wasn't a very good leader. Anyway, he's dead now. So communism can't exist without socialism. I can't spell, so we're gonna do socialism. Socialism is pretty much a pre-communism. Um, so it goes democracy and then socialism and then communism. So you need to go through socialism first. Socialism has a dictator. That's pretty much like guy in charge. Bearded man, he dies. He freaking dies of like a heart attack or something. And then we got another less bearded man. His name is Stalin. Stalin. He's kind of stinky and like kills 300 million people, I think. Um, but Stalin, he not, you know, he's not a good person. Um, but enough about the history lesson. We're talking about communism in general. So say put yourselves in the shoes of a uh doctor. You're like, oh, I like making money from working on people and saving lives because you make a lot of money. And then there's a fast food worker that makes sandwiches. Ugh, makes sandwiches. You make $1,000, and they make $200, just as like numbers. Um, so socialism comes around. You're still kind of making this because your job's still important, but then communism comes around, and the government, the big G, is like, no, you can't have money, no money. You're all equal, so you all get paid instead of 1,000, you each get paid $100, and then you're no longer happy as a ooh, that's way too big. You're no longer happy as a doctor because you don't get paid money for saving people, and the person that makes sandwiches gets paid the same amount as you. And it's like, well, he makes sandwiches and I save lives. There's a big difference here. And even then, the sandwich maker guy probably still makes more money anyway because he is probably getting tips if you're like in a Western country, but since this is Russia, you're probably not making tips. But then socialism is the closest we're ever going to get to communism, because communism is pretty much impossible, and communism appeals to bums and people that don't want to work because, oh, I just get paid money to do like menial tasks. It's like, oh yeah, that works. But what about the people that actually work? That's why capitalism good, but capitalism also not good. So we'll explain that in the next lesson. But that's communism for stupid toes.